Now we'll go on. I would like to give the floor to Ms. Veronika Haubner, who is a representative of the Federal Austrian Competition Authority. Please proceed with your presentation.
First of all, I want to thank the ERC and the E-Control for this invitation to present our joint project and the good cooperation between the Austrian Federal Competition Authority and the E-Control. Let's start with the Competition Authority in Austria. We are a very young authority. We exist only for 8 years. We were founded in 2002. And we are also a very small competition authority. So it is our job to investigate on cases, to collect evidences, and to initiate proceedings before the cartel court. And at the cartel court, we are the accusatory power. So we defend there our point of views and we propose witnesses. And finally, the cartel court come to the decision within our applications. And if you ask yourself, who are the we I'm talking about? We are 28 members. We as I already mentioned, a very small competition authority, and we consist of 19 case handlers, and 12 of them are lawyers, and we also have some economists. And what are these cases I'm talking about? The competition authority has to fight for competition in Austria, so it is our business to detect cartels or price fixing agreement or even region fixing agreements. But we also detect the abuse of market power, like market entry barriers. We try to stop them and bring them to court. And moreover, we are responsible for the merger control in Austria. So by the time companies who want to merge reach a special turnover, they have to tell us about the merger, and we decide whether it is or it can be a problem, whether they can reach a market dominant position or not. And if they can reach that, we bring it to the cartel court and they decide whether they can merge or not, and under which circumstances. And beside all these duties, we also do sector inquiries, and we do these inquiries by the time we hold the view that there's something wrong in some economic field or that competition doesn't work in the way it should. And we did that in the electricity and gas market in Austria. In 2004, the situation was a bit different. It was short after the liberalization. And so there were a lot of complaints from customers and market participants at the E-Control and even in the competition authority. And therefore, we decided to take a look at the market. And we decided to do a sector inquiry because we are allowed to do that by law. And the E-Control decided to help us, which helped us a lot. And so we started this sector inquiry as we had a lot of hints that something was wrong in the market of electricity. So we looked at a lot of special problems, a lot of different market instruments, for example, the stock exchange and even people or institutions who control the production and the grid, Bilanzgruppenkoordinator, something like that. So we had a lot of institutions we had to look at, and all of them were really new and perhaps did not work in the way they should in 2004 because they were only 3 years old. And that was also the reason why we didn't have a lot of studies which we could look at that moment. So we have to do all on our own, and we have to establish new publications and new studies on this topic. So we sent out 786 requests of information to customers, to suppliers, to network operators. And we did a lot of expert interviews with a lot of market participants. There were a lot of accusations, negotiations, and we have to find out the truth. We had to control the answers, which were sent because of our requests. and we had to put them into a form and analyze them. We had to do the statistics, we had to draw conclusions, and we had to develop suggestions for the market. And in the end, it took us about 2 years for the inquiry, but in the end, we got a really good overview of what was going on and how this market works. We published 4 studies, and we also developed one working package with suggestions on improvement, which was discussed with the market participant and still is discussed now. But now let me come to the cooperation with the e-control. The case team we were 2 people from the competition authority. These were 2 laws, and 3 to 5 people from the e-control, which were economists. And the reason why the e-control had more people in this project is that they are larger, we are very small. And why they had the economists there, the reason was that, well, the reason is that we had at that time no economists at the competition authority. But at that time, the e-control did all the statistics and the economical developments they looked at. And the juridical problems were analyzed by the BWB. According to the principle that 4 eyes are better than 2, together we reached an excellent output as we worked together and had a lot of expert views which pushed each other. And finally, we had a common approach, common studies and common suggestions and common ideas for the future, and together we are more powerful and hopefully more effective to fight for competition in the field of electricity. And we are able to have more pressure on the electricity supplier. So, thanks for your attention.
I believe we approached the end of our workshop. I have the obligation to close this workshop. First of all, I would like to thank our guests from Austria for dedicating their time and efforts and for arriving here in Macedonia to present their successful examples from the cooperation with the Austrian regulator. I would also like to thank the stakeholders from Macedonia that also dedicated some of their time to attend this workshop. And I am sure that this will be a new beginning of even more intensified relations between the Energy Regulatory Commission of the Republic of Macedonia and the stakeholders. Once again, at the end, I would thank e-control, and I would also thank the EU delegation here in Skopje, and I would also like to thank Mr. Daniel Schropp for everything he did during this phase of the implementation of this project, and I'm sure that he will have more efforts in future. I would like to thank you once again and see you in on some other event.